awakening, about the false matrix. The false matrix is everywhere. It is the world we live in. It sounds like Neo. It is the world we live in. It is everywhere. But it is the ego that you kind of hold onto. It has been kind of a part of us. It has been part of awakening for a long time. To awaken, we have awakened within the false matrix. Very few people have actually broken out of the false matrix. Actually, the Buddha and Jesus did, but they, in different ways, and different places, and different energies have opened up to kind of help to guide towards this feminine awakening that is kind of coming along now, which we're about to, we've kind of opened up to the feminine, which was kind of the globalist, kind of the peace and the opening, and we've tried to emulate Jesus by being kind and just being kumbaya with everybody and letting everybody kind of just do whatever they want in a way. Freedom. We've tried to give people freedom. But also with that, there needs to be wisdom. So we have kind of come to, as this freedom comes about, we have kind of opened up, and then suddenly Earth responds. And that's where, because the feminine is more of an earth awakening. It's not so much of a spiritual awakening. It's more the embodied awakening that we are kind of engaging with now. So then we kind of have to engage with the basics of energy, of truth, of nature. So we all kind of want to be ourselves. We want to be free. So we want to just be able to choose whatever we kind of want to be able to choose. So that's kind of, the illusion. That is kind of also the false matrix, that we kind of think that we can just choose whatever, and that we are free just by choosing. Then we also kind of have to have truth to understand the false matrix, to understand, to go beyond. And that is kind of the new path we're all on now, that the awakening can be, that we can start penetrating into life, into earth. There is an energy awakening, which happened in COVID, which is happening kind of for many are feeling something going on. And yet most of the people that are awakening are still awakening within different kinds of levels of false matrix. And I see we are live today, so beautiful seeing some people coming on here. Like and subscribe, and let me know where you are if you are engaging, and always fun to see people. So we're kind of engaging with the easiest way to awaken is to remain within the false matrix, because to go through all these dimensions to the fifth dimension, you have to go through the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then you kind of have to have the discernment to see what is truth and what is false. So people can be talking about the false matrix, that it just false, everything is false, nothing is real. But every awakening that people usually go through, we can kind of take it too far. Any awakening is beautiful, but we also have a tendency to take it too seriously. So to truly go through all these levels of awakening, you kind of have to realize that there has to be ease, there has to be relaxations, there has to be maturity, and there has to be a guide, there has to be kind of some focused, what are we worshiping, what are we not worship, where do we get stuck on the path? That's where the people are worshiping kind of, they can worship spirit or star seeds or UFOs or all kinds of, or like twisted religions. We kind of go like, this is a lie, this is true. Most of these teachers that you will feel or find is that they have a worldview. what you would call the false matrix, that they haven't necessarily released it, because that takes longer. That takes longer than just a few years. A lot of people are awakening the last 10, 5, 10, 15 years to kind of go through the process of building up enough power in the body and to really see that energy that is around. Then that kind of requires a longer time and the right teachings, correct teachings. Buddha was talking about that. You need the right teachings, and you also need the right guide, which Christ talked about. So there's some different kinds of ideas that they have kind of put in there, small seeds to prepare us for this time, because this time the false matrix is really kind of pulling people in all different ways, opening up to all different old kinds of religions and spiritual and goddesses and all kinds of philosophies. And it requires kind of some guidance and some daring to kind of just see what's going on, where are we headed, and what is the thread that will keep you going. How do you kind of stay sane and dare to keep going inwards when the false matrix will kind of try to lock you down, which false matrix means the ego, as you haven't, and to see your ego, you will actually have to get triggered. You will actually have to have a guide, a teacher that actually can see you from the other side, that actually have gone through it. So they're not going to just be like, oh, I've just done this for a few years, I'm so young. It actually takes some time to become a teacher, to actually have gone through that to the other side, through the 5D, and then to look back and with ease guide people that they can reach out and they can ask questions. So if you have questions, or if you like, subscribe, like, share. There's a lot of beauty coming in at this time where we are starting to see that we can't rely on any philosophy too much, because the mind, the matrix will kind of take hold, and you will see that almost anyone now feels a little fragile, because most people haven't totally gone the distance. And that's kind of where the teacher comes in, to kind of be there when you have gone through a certain level of awakening, but you realize that maybe there is more to this false matrix than you think. There's maybe more levels to this ego than most people think. And that is the beauty of this journey, that it will take some time. It's not just 2, 3 years or 5. No, it will actually need to take some longer time. I've been doing it for like 25-ish years. So because it takes time to kind of build these levels within the body, to actually make a body that sustains life. Understand that when we release the false matrix, we can receive this energy within, and we can expand our energy body, and we can start to hone it in. And that energy becomes our awakening, and we become the awakened one within this world, where we can smile to the world and enjoy. What's this about? We're talking about the false matrix. Beautiful to see some people coming in, like or subscribe or ask questions. That's always beautiful. But the false matrix is, as I kind of said, and I've talked about this before, but I use different words for different people. Everybody kind of connects to different words. Like the ego will literally kind of be a belief system that gives you life, but it also will make you blind to life. So if you're going to return to the source, return to God, return to life, return to the Buddha, return to Christ, then you will have to see through these levels of the false matrix. You can see truth, but sometimes you will see that the mind will try to take you into different paths of doubt, of anger, of sadness, of desire, of fear, of confusion, of arrogance, of all the sins that we could call it. So there is it can sound weird, like I haven't really used. Well, nice to see some people coming in. I have already kind of talked about it and kind of talked for a while. So if I don't explain it completely, go back and check out the video when I upload it. Because, yeah. But yeah, well, the false matrix is, you know, like Neo says, or in the Matrix, the movie, it kind of blinds you. So you can't really see it. But that is where like truth comes in, you know, that we are so used to listen to lies that we can't listen to when somebody speaks truth. So we have to realize that there is something truth, there is somebody who's connected to truth. And from that connection, you can start seeing everybody's perception of the fault matrix will be a little different. So when I talk to people and I have different people reaching out and that I guide, I will talk about the different things from different perspectives. So if you go back in my videos or if you go to my Patreon, you will see that I talk about this in different ways to kind of help people. And then suddenly you will connect with the life, the energy within, the truth within. And suddenly you will start seeing from the 5D, from beyond the false matrix, in the real life, what is called the new earth or heaven on earth. So you can't really, when you start realizing that the world seems a little off and people are a little weird and strange, well, then you might be ready to start like listening. And then you might need to kind of, seek out somebody that actually kind of are on the other side so that you can start tapping into their energy. There's an energy connection. I'm kind of guiding with energy. It's not just it's not mental. Actually, you can't understand completely what I'm saying. I'm just talking about it. And then if you open yourself up, it might suddenly resonate, and you might suddenly wake up in the middle of the night and suddenly be like, oh, I felt something. Suddenly you might see me in your dreams. There might be different ways. Everybody is different that comes here. And suddenly you can start feeling there's shifting inside you as you dare to open to the potential that there is a falseness, that we are somewhat blind. My path started when I realized that, whoa, it seems like I'm blind to the truth. It seems like I'm stuck. Only then could I open up that maybe I need guidance. Maybe I need to open up to that I don't know everything. Me, like everybody else, I was pretty arrogant to me. Like, I know everything and I don't need anything. I don't need any teacher. And then when I realized I needed a teacher, that was kind of humbling, but it actually opened me up to perceiving beyond. So that is what I'm here to do. I talk about it a little bit more, mostly in the weekends. I come in here and create these lives, and but I also talk about it once a week on my Patreon. So if you are interested and just ask more questions, or come in there and join our fellowship, not community, fellowship. We are all different, but we can walk together. If you're new here, like and subscribe. I love all the new people that are starting to kind of come into this station. So I will talk more about it. So, hit the notification bell and maybe you will see me when I'm live too. Until next time, guys.